Welcome to No Stats, where we call it how we see it.
Back again with another one.
And let them know, Peach. And before we jump in, as always, like, share, comment, all comments, good, bad, ugly. We appreciate the love. So jump in that comment section below. Do your thing. We're going to continue to do ours. And then while you're at it, ring the bell, hit the subscribe button because we got a lot of content coming at y'all. NFL season around the corner. NBA season going to start soon. College football fans, we covering that. College basketball fans, we covering that. Canelo fight soon. There's a whole bunch going on. Fantasy football. We're going to have some bets for y'all gamblers. So, yeah, the content coming. So make sure you ring that bell and subscribe. And we're going to keep doing what we doing.
No Stats is on it all, baby. We on everything. Hands on everything.
Watch the handle. It takes skill. We got to run it back. We in the field. And you said it, Jason Jack. You in your field. We looking for the facts. Let's keep it real. Yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats.
What you got for me today, brother? What's for the good of the order, as Peach said?
For the good of the order, baby. What is going on in Philly, bro? Just from everything, because I think last week or maybe the week before we touched on the Harden situation a little bit on how he wants to be traded and so a couple scenarios we talked about and on what we would do, and then that following day, not even 12 hours later, he calls Daryl Morey a liar and reiterates how he'll never play for an organization with Daryl Morey under ownership, which kind of took me for a spin because there's so many sticky things that you think about. He signed that extension, that mini extension in the summer, I guess, to give the Sixers a little bit more flexibility on adding pieces, and then he turns around and does this. But do you think maybe something was promised?
It has to be.
Something was promised. Something had to be
promised. Had to be, bro. Because even with him taking the friendly deal, right, to help the Sixers out, I mean, he followed them. You just said his name. Why am I trying to blank?
Daryl Morey.
Daryl Morey. He followed him from Houston to Philly. So if that relationship was always tarnished and he felt like that before, he wouldn't have came to this organization where he's at. So something had to happen in between the lines. He got fined $100,000 for that, which I'm pretty sure he knew was going to come. But something had to happen. I think something was promised. Daryl Morey didn't hold it into his end of the bargain. And James Harden felt some type of way about it. I seen speculations, rumors that they told James Harden, or he told James Harden, he'll be traded quickly. Like, he'll be traded quickly. And the fact that he wasn't made James Harden kind of frustrated. Because remember, they went back with, they're going to trade him, and then they said, we're just not going to trade him. And then he said, I'm not coming to training camp. So it was like that ping pong game back and forth before he called him a liar, and, the $100,000 ticket followed suit after that.
I think the market kind of dried up for Harden. I think the Sixers is in a very tough place as far as like, and I think you can kind of see that across the league when you look at even Damian Lillard's situation. The fit, the contracts, the age, like all that shit factors in. Like, you got a player like Harden in his 30s. Respectfully on the decline. I know he's been buying into the facilitator role, but he's not Houston Harden no more. And it's like, what teams out there are going to be willing to gut their fucking roster? Not even gut their roster, but send out young assets and future draft capital for this James Harden. Then you look at the top heavy teams that are maybe like a Harden or two piece away from winning, and it's like, what do they have to even give up? I seen the Clippers in the conversation.
I think that's where he wants to go.
I get it with PG and Kawhi, but them top-heavy trios, I'm not really a fan of that shit. I know.
And they still got Russ over there. Don't forget about Russ.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what are you going to do with that? His contract, I know he signed a new contract, but how do you even move off that? You don't already sign guys like where else could you have seen James Harden fitting at or playing at this year? If he's not going to like a mediocre team, and like it looks like the best situation possible for him is to stay put
in Philly. And I don't think that's going to happen now. It's going to be a whole bunch of back and forth, bro. But if you don't mind, I want to talk about the other side of the spectrum. The Philadelphia 76ers as a whole, bro. Because now rumors are coming out that Embiid's close, right? They gave like a percentage odds of the next superstar to demand a trade. And Embiid was at a 40%. Don't know how true that is. But Embiid came out, remember, after the season, and he said, I want to win a championship, no matter if it's in Philly or somewhere else. You don't say that when you want to be at an organization or somewhere else. You know you're gonna draw eyes, whether it's out of emotion or not. It's some facts to that. And this is a Philadelphia team, bro, that has been through the ringer. You know, more recently with Ben Simmons, but I just want to go back to everything that this Philly team has been on with this trust the process organization, bro. It's in the last 10 years, right? So we're looking at in 2003, right? They traded Drew Holiday, right, for the 6th round pick. They used to get Nerlens Noel, and then they got Michael Carter Williams with the 11th pick, passing on C.J. McCollum and Giannis. They both played at least 3 years in Philly. Mediocre, Michael Carter Williams and Nerlens Noel. They draft Joel Embiid, who was the best pick, but he was injured. 2015, they drafted Jahlil Okafor. Did nothing. Picked him over Devin Booker and Miles Turner. He had a good rookie season, but turned out to be average, right? Then they draft Ben Simmons. We know how that went. Picked him over Jaylen Brown, Jamal Murray. Had some good seasons, but came to an end, and they ended up getting James Harden. 2017, they get Markelle Fultz. We know what happened with that. Over De'Aaron Fox, Jason Tatum, Lonzo Ball. We know he was going. 2018, they drafted Miles Mikal Bridges and then traded him. Then they get Zaire Smith over some of the top guys, and he had the medical condition and never played. Bro, that is crazy how many top picks that you had, and all you have to show for it is Joel Embiid after this season, who seems like a disgruntled superstar.
I just gotta ask, who
that's
in
wild.
the fuck in the organization was gonna draft 3 centers in a row? I know, and you could speculate that we don't know that Joel Embiid was gonna turn out to be who he was, but you go and get Nerlens Noel, then you turn around and get Joel Embiid, and then you get Jahlil Okafor for what? You guys didn't maneuver at all. You went and bought the same fucking position every single year. Who was making these decisions? But to piggyback off of what you were saying with Joel Embiid and him being disgruntled and stuff, I would be disgruntled with the organization. I would be the organization with firing Doc Rivers. I would be disgruntled with James Harden. Like, bro, what the fuck else do you want? Like, what else do you want around you? But then I gotta understand too that his beef is not with me. His beef is with the owner of this fucking team. So it's like, do I buy in and go through another mediocre fucking year? Or do I just let them know, like, look, just trade me now? Sorry, Tyrese Maxey. Like,
all right. Peach is the owner / GM. You wearing both hats at the 76ers. The Philadelphia 76ers is in Peach hands. You got this. You're in this predicament that they're in now, right? And let's just say maybe Joel Embiid to come out tomorrow morning and be like, "I'm a Sixers for life." You never know. But let's just say you're in a predicament where James Harden is very disgruntled. He called Peach a liar. He said, "Peach is a liar. I'm never playing for an organization that Peach runs." And Joel Embiid is on the fence. You feel like he's going to ask for a trade. He's voiced his opinion and his displeasure with the organization. What is Peach doing with this franchise?
I'm blowing it up. I'll give it 10 games, bro. To be honest with you, is Harden gonna come in weighing fucking 386 pounds and warming up in a damn jumpsuit? I'm like, all right, that's one sign. Is Embiid hurt 3 games into the season? I'm analyzing all angles of this. And to be honest with you, to really put the ownership hat on, I'm looking at Maxey, man. I'm looking at how I can build around this young player. And it might be some opportunity within that. I'm not necessarily saying that you're going to get exactly what you want back for James Harden. But Embiid's, the load he'll bring back could probably set you up in another, 3 years.
Yep.
And it ain't even got to be the players in the league now. This could be like for some assets for later on down the line. But it's like, when you look at the dynamics of a trade for Embiid, it's like, what team is gonna really gut their roster? Like I said before, for Harden, and what contender could hold on to their core, or not break their team down as much to still be able to win and compete by going to get a player like Embiid. Like I look at a team like the Warriors, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins. 3-4 picks, maybe throw Moses Moody in there, maybe throw Looney in there, throw one of the draft prospects in there, and you go and get Embiid. You still hold on to Stephen Curry. You still have Draymond Green, Jonathan Kuminga
Chris Paul
will start. You still got Chris Paul. A lot of vets out there will sign for mid-level vet minimums. You can go out and get a guy like Will Barton. You can go and get fucking just go get a shooter that could just fill in as well. But I would look at a team like a Warriors who's able to maybe extend some of those assets that they have without completely falling off a fucking cliff. So
that's a good one.
Yeah, man, this circus is gonna be crazy.
So I'm in agreement. I know it's crazy, right? Because Joel Embiid is, a top player in this league, coming off an MVP season. I know it's crazy to say that. He is the process, and if you lose him, all of it has really been for nothing. Nobody's on the team no more, right? And you want to try to get that relationship back going because you know how close you are. But I would do the same thing, bro. I would blow it up. And the question that you pose, which I think is the right question, is not who wants him, but who has enough to give up so many pieces that's that close to a championship? Because you got to believe, right? You got to believe that you're right there to win the championship. And Joel Embiid puts you over the hump, and we can win a championship. Because basically, you got to be selling the future for the now. You have to be one of those teams. So the Golden State Warriors was a great team, but I'm trying to think of another team that could do that, and I don't.
You look at Phoenix, for example. They're sold their future, their whole future.
Yep.
Fuck the process, all that shit. We're gonna go all in right now, and the bittersweet part about that is that if it doesn't work, you always look back on it and you kind of point the finger at this shit oh, y'all wanted to get together all this. Because at the end of the day, basketball is built on the camaraderie and the chemistry and the feel of that game and having the right fits, but also you got to have a lot of good situations on your side, and injuries and all that shit is a part of the game. And this note just came to me. If I'm Daryl Morey, man, I'm sending fucking Harden to one of the least favorite spots. I'm pulling a San Antonio Spurs with Kawhi Leonard. I'm sending this man. This man is out of there, boy. Indiana's a good one. Give me Tyrese Halliburton, man.
They not letting him go.
Oh,
bro.
man.
But I don't know, man. It's this organization, and it's an organization that I follow. I'm an Embiid guy. I like Embiid most of the time. But I don't know, man. I don't know what direction they're heading in. It's getting sticky. And they got to figure out something quick. I mean, I guess the logical thing would be to keep Embiid, right? Because what do you, like you said, Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins, you're not winning no chip. You're not close to even getting to a finals, I don't think, with just those two and Maxey. I don't think so. You're closer with Embiid, right? So you move off of Harden. The logical path, you move off of Harden, you get somebody to get in there and get with Embiid, Maxey, and Money Stiller.
Question is, but who? How about the Money Stiller? Get his ass out of there, man. I will package him and
Gonna play in a
Tobias up,
ski
man.
mask because he robbed the Sixers.
Oh my god! Before we even get off this, bro, bro?
Yeah, James
Who
Harden.
is a good suitor for James Harden that helps out both sides?
Clippers, you want him? Do you want
Do
him?
you But do you
No.
need him?
No, if you want him, give me who my guy off the bench? Norman Powell
Norman Powell, okay.
and something else. Another role player. I
I
take two
don't
role
like
players.
the Russ and Harden. I don't like that back
If
there.
I'm the Sixers, I can care less. If y'all want him, I need Norman Powell. Norman Powell would be phenomenal. You know, he could give you the scoring that you need from the Sixers. I like Norman Powell's game a lot. Give me Norman Powell and give me another guy to come in. Another backup 2 or something. 2 twos for Harden. And I'm good to go. Because I don't think the market's that high right now on Harden, especially after all of this. They know he's disgruntled. The price is low. If I'm another GM, I'm like, man, listen, I give you rocks and buttons for James Harden right now.
So even talking about the
Norman
back to
Powell.
Houston shit.
Yeah, that's a bag chaser right there.
Damn, it's really no. I'm just trying to. There's no team that flows to my mind.
Viewers, what would y'all do? What's the logic? What's path makes the most sense? You know, who can the Sixers get for James Harden? Do you move off him quick? Do you wait and say suck it up? Are you not a fan of the players forcing their way out of situations? Be honest with us. Like I said, we take all the comments. So let's start the conversation and talk about the Sixers and James Harden.
Man, give us some goddamn direction because we is lost.
Yeah. Peach, I tried to have Peach be the owner and GM. I think they fired him.
They fired me in between takes. I lasted like 4 minutes. They're like, he wants to send Embiid to the Warriors?